17 Republican candidates all vying to be the next president of the United States. But why is Donald Trump striking a chord with so many GOP voters?
What I say, and oftentimes it's fun, it's kidding, we have a good time. What I say is what I say. I've been challenged by so many people, and I don't frankly have time for total political correctness. I would be so different from what you have right now, like the polar opposite. We have a president who doesn't have a clue. Our leaders are stupid. Our politicians are stupid. And the Mexican government is much smarter, much sharper, much more cunning. And they send the bad ones over because they don't want to pay for them. They don't want to take care of them. Why should they when the stupid leaders of the United States will do it for them? And that's what's happening, whether you like it or not. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't even be talking about illegal immigration, Chris. You wouldn't even be talking about it.
But with all the candidates vying for the nomination, how can the others break out and separate from the pack like Donald Trump? Former presidential candidate, Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich joins us. Nice to have you back on Fox News.
It's great to be back.
Okay, so what do the other 16 have to do, these Republicans, because Donald Trump is stealing the thunder? He's stealing the numbers, the polls?
Look, first of all, they just need to be patient. It is a long way from here to February 1st, and February 1st in Iowa is the first vote. You saw an amazing experience on Thursday. Carly Fiorina in the early debate is now judged by polls and everything else to be the biggest winner. Here she is. She talked to the smallest audience, but because she was so effective, she's gotten a pretty significant bounce and has moved into a much stronger position than she had last Wednesday. So I think people got to play their game, focus on their messages. Trump is a phenomenon. I mean, whether he's a long-term phenomenon or he's a short-term phenomenon, we don't know yet. But he's not like anybody else we've seen in politics.
And why? Because he's blunt, he's got money, he's paying for his own campaign, he says what he thinks?
Take money, for example. Mitt Romney was moderately wealthy. Donald Trump is very wealthy. People didn't necessarily like Romney being wealthy. People who like Trump think it's terrific that he's wealthy.
Why? Why?
I think he's captured this sense of persona. We live in an era, whether it's the Kardashians or it's Tom Cruise's latest movie or whatever it is, we live in an era where personalities fill up space. And Trump had a lot of experience with The Apprentice at playing reality television. So in a lot of ways, what you're getting is the reality candidate. It's like it's a reality show for Trump. And he comes across very aggressive, very energetic, and he's on permanent offense. I've never seen anybody as capable of being on permanent offense as Donald Trump.
8 years ago, we saw the beginning of the Tea Party, and that seemed to be a group of people who had a little sort of anger, and they were upset with the Washington as it is. And is that the same sort of anger or upset that we're now seeing? I mean, the emails I get in support of Donald Trump are the people who are they're mad at Washington.
Well, I think people are more and more disgusted, and they're more and more troubled. You look at flat wages, you look at the weakest recovery in 70 years economically, you look at Ferguson last night, you just go through item after item after item. The system doesn't work. The government doesn't work. We just had one of the folks that we work with applied 7 weeks ago to get a passport, and it finally came through today. I mean, and you look at the Veterans Administration doesn't work.
Whose fault is this?
Well, ultimately, we're going to have a very major overhaul of the whole system. I mean, you look at the EPA, which routinely wants to put people in jail. I'm actually writing about this tomorrow. They routinely want to put businesses in jail. The EPA just had created a toxic creek in Colorado, which is now a state of emergency. And I'm writing, we should be putting EPA officials in jail. I mean, they ought to be under the same standard as private business. And people look at this stuff and they say, everybody talks, nobody gets anything done, and along comes Trump. Now, but remember, it's not just Trump. Carly Fiorina's never held public office. Dr. Carson's never held public office. My guess is between the three of them, they have at least 40% of the vote now.
It's wild. Anyway, Newt, thank you, and I expect you back often.
I'll be back as often as I can.
Nice to see you.